Hello, it's Annette here. Welcome to my pelvic care course. In this course, we implement the perception technique, the squeeze of the pelvic floor and exhalation, with Romeo and Juliet trying to meet in the middle, and the hypopressive technique where we create a vacuum or apnea. Practice this short sequence of poses to gain more pelvic floor awareness. These poses will let you experience the techniques in different relationships to gravity. When lying down or slightly inverted, it may be easier to experience the pelvic floor lift than sitting or standing vertically with gravity pulling down. So come forward onto your hands and knees. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees hip-width distance apart. Begin to move on the wave of your breath. Inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your gaze upwards. And on the exhalation, as you ride the breath out, begin to lift your pelvic floor. Tailbone moving toward pubic bone toward tailbone. Romeo and Juliet. Inhale. Feel the subtle expansion in the pelvic floor as you fill up. Exhale, round your back, empty the breath. Romeo meeting Juliet. Inhale, relax your pelvic floor as the breath expands. Exhale out. Come back to neutral. Place your elbows down. Stack your fists. Rest your head on your fists. So we'll try the hypopressive now in this position. Remember to relax the support muscles of your pelvic floor, the major muscles. Soften your belly. Let's begin. Inhale, fill up the entire torso from the belly all the way to the top of the chest. Exhale all the breath out. It's important to take all the breath out to the very bottom of the breath. Hold the breath out. Expand your rib cage. And then the release. Take a few breaths in between. On this next one, we'll hold the breath out for a count of 5. If that's too long, you can release sooner. So again, just breathe in. Exhale out. Let's begin. Inhale. Fill up the container of your torso. Expanding 3-dimensionally. Exhale the breath all the way out. Hold your breath out. Complete empty. Release and inhale. Slowly rise up and come onto your back. We'll try a second position. Place your feet hip width distance apart such that your shins are vertical and your elbows beside your waist like robot arms. Press your elbows down and roll your shoulders back. Inhale, lift your pelvis. Exhale, slowly lower your pelvis down. As you exhale, feel your pelvic floor lifting, and you can add that extra squeeze. Romeo meeting Juliet. Inhale, relax your pelvic floor, lift your pelvis. Feel the expansion or subtle movement of the pelvic floor toward your knees. Exhale, slowly lower your hips, tailbone meeting pubic bone, lifting up in the middle. Let's try that 2 more times. Inhale, relax your pelvic floor, lift your pelvis. Breath expands, expanding the pelvic floor in the direction of your knees. Exhale, lower down, gently squeezing. Pelvic floor domes up towards your head. Last time, inhale, relax your pelvic floor. Exhale, squeeze. And slowly release. So now the hypopressive. Place your hands and clasp them underneath your pelvis, interlacing your fingers, and you can roll your shoulders underneath your torso a little bit more. And on this one, when we're holding the breath out in the hypopressive, let's try to feel what happens with the pelvic floor as you get that natural lift, as you create the airtight chamber. Inhale, lift your pelvis. Exhale all the breath out. Slowly lower your pelvis. And just release your hands to the sides. We'll take a few breaths in between. Notice even as I breathe in between, the belly rises and falls with the breath. We begin to have more movement as we develop the diaphragm. Okay, round 2 of the hypopressive. Clasp your hands underneath your pelvis. Roll your shoulders under. Inhale, lift your pelvis. Exhale, as you hold here in this position, all the breath out. And lower your pelvis. Take a few breaths in and out. Roll to your side and gently help yourself up to a seated position. So practice these exercises no matter your type. Recall in my introductory video, I mentioned 2 types of pelvic floor. First, where the muscles are either too tight and you can experience pain, or the muscles are too weak and you have loss of sensation. These exercises will help you develop perception, mindful movement with the breath, and begin to create elasticity and much needed blood flow to the muscles. This can make a difference in your life for the better. For the next video, we'll learn how to relax the pelvic floor using the breath and a ball.